General Motors' Transistor Ignition System, or TI system, was a factory-installed option that replaced mechanical ignition points with electronic ignition. From 1964 to 67, all Corvettes came down the assembly line with a dash harness and engine harness installed for a mechanical points ignition system. If TI ignition was ordered, both the existing dash harness and engine harness was modified on the assembly line to accommodate the TI components and an additional TI auxiliary harness. In this video, you'll see how to install a Transistor Ignition Auxiliary Harness, or TI harness, as installed in either a 1964 to 65 Corvette or 1966 to 67 Corvette. The installation process is virtually the same, only the wire colors are slightly different. If you haven't already upgraded your TI box, Lectric Limited offers a replacement upgrade module for your TI amplifier box that replaces your old PC board with a more reliable, fully encapsulated module. Lectric Limited part number VTR6571AM. More about this upgrade and its installation is provided in a different video on our website. Before you begin, remember to disconnect your battery. Looking at the installation instructions that will be included with your Lectric Limited TI auxiliary wiring harness, we'll start by connecting the large rubber connector to your TI amplifier box connection. Next, we'll connect this black wire and ring terminal to one of our ground locations. It will connect to the passenger side lower mounting bolt of your TI amplifier box. Next, we'll connect this black wire and ring terminal to another ground location. It will connect to the radiator core support. Note that this wire connection is not present on a 64 to 65 Corvette. Next, we'll make our connection to the TI ignition coil. Please pay special attention here, as the wiring for the black and white wires with the horseshoe-shaped terminals are different on a 64 to 65 Corvette and 66 to 67 Corvette. Make sure that you make the proper polarity connection to your TI ignition coil. We don't know why GM made this wiring change, but they did. You can pause the video if you need more time to view. Next, using the T-shaped connector, we'll make our connection to the connector coming out of your TI distributor. The following installation process may involve modifying either your dash harness, engine harness, or both, depending on the circumstances of your installation. If your Corvette already has TI ignition and you're replacing the dash harness and engine harness, you will be modifying both the dash harness and engine harness. You can modify these harnesses either before or after their installation. If your Corvette already has TI ignition and you're replacing only the dash harness, you will only be modifying the dash harness. The engine harness should already be modified. If your Corvette already has TI ignition and you're replacing only the engine harness, you will only be modifying the engine harness. The dash harness should already be modified. If your Corvette is a 65 big block, you will not be performing the modifications to the engine harness as shown in this video. This is because all 65 big block Corvettes were produced with the TI ignition system, and the engine harness was already modified to accept TI ignition. If your Corvette does not have TI ignition and you want to add TI ignition, you will be modifying both the dash harness and engine harness. Next, we'll be making our connection to the dash harness, but first we'll have to make a modification to the dash harness. This is the same process that would have been performed on the assembly line. On the dash harness, identify the pink wire that goes through the firewall and would have been attached to the ballast resistor of a non-TI Corvette. The terminal will either be a side fork or straight fork terminal, as noted, and located at the same harness breakout for the windshield wiper motor. Then we'll cut off the terminal from this pink wire. Next, we'll get our conversion components bag that came with your Lectric Limited TI auxiliary harness. We'll be using this male blade terminal and this plastic connector. Next, we'll strip the wire a little less than 1/4 inch from the end. Apply our male blade terminal to the pink wire and crimp the terminal. This is a tough terminal to hand crimp. Make sure that the terminal is fully crimped or it will not fit into the connector. Next, we'll connect this modified pink wire from the dash harness to the white wire with mating connector on the TI auxiliary harness. Next, we'll be making a connection to the engine harness after we modify the engine harness. You'll want to identify the 2 pink wires with a horseshoe-shaped terminal that would have gone to your ignition coil and cut off the terminal. Next, we'll need to identify which of these 2 pink wires we'll need to use. To do so, we'll use a continuity tester or ohm meter. Determine which of these 2 pink wires establishes continuity with the pink wire going to your starter solenoid. That is the proper pink wire we'll use. The remaining pink wire will not be used and can be taped off. Using the proper pink wire, we'll strip the wire a little less than 1/4 inch from the end and apply our female terminal to the pink wire. Then we'll crimp the terminal. And apply our connector. Next, we'll connect this modified pink wire from the engine harness to the pink wire with mating connector on the TI auxiliary harness. If you have a ballast resistor, you can remove it. It will no longer be used. This concludes the installation process of your 64 to 67 Corvette TI auxiliary harness.